Hey, well, good morning and happy World EV Day. How many of you knew every September 9th we celebrate EVs across the globe? So thank you for joining me. What are we going to do today? I'm going to take you on a drive, FSD drive using beta 10.69.1.1, and we're going to head from Oak Harbor, where I just got done getting a bivalent booster shot for COVID at my local pharmacy, and we're going to head home. So what does that entail? Well, we have a 17-mile and approximately 28-minute drive. Oops. So that means we're going to be seeing if we can do a intervention-free FSD drive all the way home. So won't you join me as we take this drive and see how things go? And this is my setup that I am using to film with. So as you can see, MacGyvered, and I think it's working pretty well. So here we go on a trip. Hopefully the audio is good, and I may shut things off from time to time just to keep the camera from overheating, but I will let you know if there's any interventions. So let's do this. All right, folks. Hopefully I don't have any sound issues, but here we go. We're leaving the parking lot, and typically FSD is not really good at handling leaving parking lots. So I am not going to let it, and I'm going to do it myself. We'll get out on the road and then I will engage FSD. So thank you very much for joining me on this trip. It's going to be a bit of a long one, almost 28 minutes, but like I said, I may turn the camera off from time to time because GoPros have a tendency to overheat, and also there may be some boring stretches, but we will see. So here we go. And FSD engage. So what is this trip here? Well, first we are going to have the car drive us through some city traffic here. So as you can see, we are in the town of Oak Harbor. Oak Harbor is home to Naval Air Station Whidbey Island. So we have A6 Prowlers, I believe that's what they're called, stationed out here. You hear them practicing their carrier takeoff and landings and other things. We call it the sound of freedom. The sound of freedom can be very loud sometimes. So good mix of a drive here. Long drive. We're going to see if we can do it intervention free. For those of you just joining me that have never watched my videos before, a little bit about my philosophy. I show you everything as much as possible. I don't typically edit out anything. I want you to see the good and the bad. And I don't have any scripted things to say. So kind of podcast style, I take you along for a drive, and then I just kind of talk about some of the things that interest me and narrate what the car is doing. So we are going to make a change into another lane. Car feels like it will be faster, and it probably will be, but we also will have to merge up here. So again, we're going to see how the car manages. All right, we're rapidly approaching the spot where we have to merge. Okay, that was nice. The car slowed down, tucked in behind this little Ford Focus. Got some police action up here on the right-hand side. That's what we got the radar detector for. So I'm not trying to sugarcoat or cover anything up. I want you to see the good, the bad, and the ugly FSD, and hopefully you enjoy my commentary. I think I bring a bit of a unique outlook to this as a former maintenance employee at oil refineries. So I was in oil for almost 20 years doing instrumentation and electrical, I&E technician, and now I am a instrumentation and electrical instructor for a local technical college up in Bellingham. So I teach automation, electronics, instrumentation and controls, and my kind of area expertise is the first year of the program, where we learn all about AC and DC theory, semiconductors, and programmable logic controllers and motor controls and all that kind of neat stuff. So far so good. Car has not had any real issues. It acted a little bit goofy there for a merge, but overall not bad. thought this would be a better trip to record. Originally I was going to do the one from my house to Oak Harbor, but for the most part you have all seen a number of those routes. If you're a subscriber or you've watched my videos, you've seen those routes. So I thought it might be better to start off with something you haven't seen and then end as we get towards the house. So we're going to come up to a light up here, and I don't see the car having any real issues with that. So the fully charged show is in San Diego this weekend. That should be pretty cool. I think that's to coincide. There's our growlers there off to the side, off to the left, to coincide with World EV Day. So maybe some of you are going to make it there. I don't get there this year, but I am certainly hopeful that we will make it to the one. I think it's in Vancouver, BC next year. So that is my sincere hope that we get to that show. All right, now we're on to the high-speed portion. So we made it through the city of Oak Harbor, or the town of Oak Harbor, with no issue. Now we're on a state route. This is State Route 20 again, the spur. And we are doing the speed limit, well, maybe just a little bit over, but nothing too terrible. Maintaining safe distance of traffic. Now we're going to drop down here into a little bit of a dip. The car has never been able to do this 100% successfully yet. And that is due to the fact that there are some roundabouts, and there are also some passing lanes for slow vehicles where the car would behave kind of odd. It didn't know where it wanted to be. So we're going to see how it does on this trip. Any of you that haven't been to the Northwest, again, that's kind of where my focus is, right? I'm glad that you joined me. There's lots of people you can watch. Dirty Tesla, he does great FSD videos, and he is in the Midwest, up by Michigan. So he's awesome. You can watch Whole Mars Catalog, which is down in San Francisco, California Bay Area. Very good videos. You can watch Tesla AI, really good. Dr. Know-It-All. There are just a number of resources to watch FSD videos. And so I thank you for watching mine, and hopefully I'm bringing you something a little different than they are. Oh, Chuck Cook too. Chuck Cook is another great one. I don't have all of the awesome graphics and fancy special effects, but what I am bringing you is raw data that you can look at and make decisions for on your own on how well the car is doing. So we'll pull that out wide for you. So far so good. Haven't had any overheating issues, so we're going to just keep filming here. And I like to bring these more like rural routes too. Dirty Tesla does some pretty good rural stuff, and I think Chuck Cook does as well. But like I think it's good to see how the system operates across the United States and in different geographies, with the recognition that California is its home. So Autopilot FSD does much better in the California area. So, you know, I think there are a lot of people to watch, but there's a lot of things to, you know, get an idea of. Oh, we got an accident or something up here on the left. Nicely done, car. Pinching its brakes, slowing down. Oh boy, we get a rubberneck a little bit here. Hopefully nobody got hurt. Looks like we got some semi-trucks involved here, maybe? Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, that's too bad. All right, rolling on. Car did great there. Amos is awesome. For those of you that may have seen some of my earlier videos, you know I'm a huge science fiction fan. And one of you was awesome at guessing. I think guessing, or maybe you watched my older videos, at why we named our Model Y Performance Amos. One of my most favorite characters in the world is Amos Burton. Don't call me Timmy, from The Expanse. So I thought that was a fitting name for the car. And another interesting tidbit, if you'll notice in my videos, okay, let's see how it does here. I don't want it to get in this other lane, and that's what it would do from time to time. And what's this dump truck doing? Oh, this guy's a little aggressive, isn't he? Oh, no, he's got a lane he can get into. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is where the car would get confused. It would think that turnout was the beginning of this passing lane, and then it would not quite know what to do. So far, so good. No interventions yet. I haven't even had to give it a goose on the throttle. So hopefully you all are as impressed as I am. So anyway, so Amos is named after Amos from The Expanse, and then if you watch my videos, you'll notice that I use a wipe to transition between scenes. Usually the introduction to my little animated promo card back to the video. And if anybody knows where the wipe comes from in sci-fi and why I might be using it as an homage to a certain very famous series, please put it in the comments. But I got it from a very famous trilogy, and it's my kind of homage on why I'm using wipes. So there you go, little funny thing there. Okay, we're going to see how the car does in this roundabout. It's staying in the right lane. This lane is a through lane, the other lane is a turn only. So that is good. Nice speed, nobody behind us, and very smoothly entering and exiting. Oh man, I'm afraid this is going to be boring for you all. The car is just doing fantastic. So then the Cybertruck, which we have a reservation for, and I cannot wait to bring you footage of that. We're going to name Maeve, and if anybody knows where the character Maeve is from, again, put it in the comments. One of my other favorite sci-fi shows, and I think she is just a badass. So I want to name my truck after her. All right, we're still doing really well. So far, so good for me too. No arm soreness, and I'm not keeling over from this booster. So if you haven't gotten one yet, highly suggest you do, right? Let's keep ourselves healthy, safe, and doing well. But I respect if you don't want one as well. Right? We all have our different beliefs and needs and health situations. So here we are, we're still rolling, we're doing really good. This is some of the stuff I thought might get a little bit boring, but hopefully you're still enjoying it as much as I am. We are rapidly approaching Deception Pass, and there is a really awesome state park up here on the left-hand side, and then we're going to go across the bridges, the Deception Pass bridges, and I don't know if any of you have seen that, but it is just an epic sight, and it's one of the must-see things if you ever come to Washington State. So we're going to drive over that here in just a few minutes in our robot car. Still no interventions. I think our first issue may be the left-hand turn we have coming up here in about 2 miles, but we're going to find out. There's lots of shadowing. No, okay, good. I didn't intervene. The car turned off the blinker its own. I don't know why it was thinking that, but again, sometimes the lanes can confuse it a little bit. But there's lots of shadowing, lots of that stippling through here, and so I think we may get some phantom braking, but we will see. Man, if you're still with me, thank you. I was worried this might be a long and boring video, but I do want you to see how capable FSD is. I mean, we've gone about halfway so far of a 13-mile trip. I believe it was about 13 miles. And I still have not had to intervene. Now we're coming up on some traffic. Oh, this is fun. Car's doing a great job, though. Slows down appropriately. And we are stopped. Oh, I hear some engine noise, so maybe we're going to start moving again. Yep. Good job. Wow, we're getting everything in this ride. We had in-city driving, car did well. We had high-speed state route driving, car did well. We had passing lanes, car did well. and now we have stop and go traffic, and the car is managing it very nicely as well. So I think this is a good spot to shut the camera off for just a minute, and then once we get closer to the Deception Pass area, I will turn you back on and let you see what we got going on. Again, no interventions so far, and the car is handling this stop and go traffic just fine. Just gonna give the camera a break and not bore you to death. Okay, we are going to let Amos take us across the Deception Pass Bridge. We have still not intervened. We only went maybe 200 or 300 yards, but again, it's traffic. I didn't want to bore you to death. So here we go across Deception Pass Bridge. Amos is driving. This is a narrow bridge with pedestrians on both sides, and it can be a little nerve-wracking, so let's see how we do, huh? Keep an eye on these screens. Man, these graphics, are they not just the most impressive thing? This is, on the screen, the brains of the car. We are seeing what Amos is thinking right now as we drive across here. What a beautiful view. If you'd like me to take you on a scenic drive through here without FSD, but with the camera mounted so you can actually appreciate what I'm seeing, leave that in the comments as well. I love doing road trip videos and bringing you scenic vistas, so hit me up and let me know what you'd like to see. Okay, we made it across the first bridge. We're entering Skagit County, leaving Island County, and now we're coming across the second bridge. Again, beautiful spot. If you've never been to Deception Pass and you're coming to Washington, please make an effort to come out here to the islands. And the car just handled that just like any normal driver. Just wonderfully well done. I am praying that there are no audio issues. I use a lapel mic with a jack, not wireless, because the wireless is a little bit more of a pain in the butt to set up. And so I'm afraid sometimes it gets a little bit crappy, and I don't know it until I actually view the video. So, all right, buddy, we don't need to go 29 through here, but I guess we're going to. We have a left-hand turn coming up here in about a quarter mile, and then the drive should get a little more interesting. We're going to see how the car does. Nobody behind us yet, and it's a decent time of day, so we may not have too much oncoming traffic, but again, we're going to be making a unprotected left-hand turn across oncoming traffic on a state route where speeds are in excess of 55 or 60 miles an hour, and this is a tight turn with cars in the other lane now. Okay, blinker on, good. We can see the ego thinking. It sees that truck, it's creeping, and it is going. Very nicely done. Wow, okay, good job. I wish it was a little more aggressive on the get-go. It floored it there right at the end, but I wish it would do it coming out. But there are what is known as the car has what's known as jerk limits built into it, and jerk limits are essentially G-force limits, so the car isn't slamming on the accelerator pedal and making it a very uncomfortable and kind of scary ride for the passengers. So one of the reasons why it's not going crazy. If you haven't had a chance and you'd like to know more about the latest full self-driving beta, check out Farzad Mashabi. I believe that is pronouncing it right. Farzad Mashabi. He was a former Tesla employee. Now he runs a podcast on YouTube. Awesome channel. And he interviewed a gentleman by the names of James Dalma and Chuck Cook yesterday. Chuck does FSD beta testing as well, and actually has an unprotected left-hand turn update named after him in the software. Man, the car is doing great. Notice all of the shadowing and no real phantom braking. We're going to go ahead and give it a little bit of an increase of speed. So Chuck does that, and then James, Tesla, we always wave at Teslas, and then I usually thumbs up any other EV. And James is a really smart AI computer developer. And so they sit down and talk for over 2.5 hours, or just about 2.5 hours, about the state of FSD, and very fascinating conversation. I watched that last night. So I'm better educated when I'm talking about the system to you all, right? I like to really be sure that I know what I'm studying here. Good job, car. Nice sweeping corner. Amos handled that with no issues. So far, I don't think we've had any overheating problems. We're going to speed the car up a little bit to match the flow of traffic. So yeah, check that out. It was a Farzad. I believe it's F-A-R-Z-A-D or Z-A-I-D. Mashabi. A-M-A-S-H-A-B-A? Something like that. Butchering his name, I'm sorry. But wonderful, wonderful interviewer. And they talked about a couple things. The jerk limit was one of them. So the car is prevented from accelerating or decelerating in ways that are uncomfortable to the passenger. And it also has what's known now as its creep limit. So when it pulls up to a stop line to make a turn, the little tongue, the little blue tongue, you can see how far it extends. That's the limit of how far it will creep out to look. So I will point that out to you if we come up on a turn here. We got one in about 2.5 miles, another left hand. And so that creep limit now starts again to give you a little more idea of what the car is thinking and doing, as well as an idea of where spatially it's going to end up if it's creeping. And then you'll also get a creep block. So you'll see a block where the car says, well, I can position myself there. So we'll watch for that on the graphics screen here. Oh, we got some kind of speed racer coming up from behind. Somebody's got a brand new Mercedes SLS with dealer plates still. I hope they enjoy it. I understand people still driving ICE, internal combustion engines, but boy, if you're going to go out and spend that kind of dough on a new rig, why wouldn't you start looking to the future? People really need to get butts in seats. Once you drive one of these, boy, it is so hard to go back. Quiet, comfortable, immediate performance, handles amazing. Even the Chevy Bolts, even the most cheap EVs, they handle like sports cars. I mean, they're fast. So just the fun alone. And then the utility, so much storage in this thing. And the cost savings. I am saving my car payment every month in gas. And so again, I encourage people to do the numbers before you make a decision on a purchase. And I'd be happy to share, again, my experiences. I kind of am, and they're nothing but good. I absolutely love EVs. Look at the cool house up there on the hill. You may not be able to see that. This is a beautiful area. Now we're coming down through here. Here's the yield where the car usually has a hard time. So now we're the cars that the other cars have to yield for. And we're dropping down now. This should be all familiar territory for you folks. All familiar territory for you. Wow, this has been a great drive. Whoop, sorry. Zero intervention so far, and making good time. Probably a little bit boring for you all, but I appreciate you hanging in there with me if you're still watching. All right, we're approaching our left-hand turn. Car usually does pretty well on this one. I had to goose it through on the last video, but we're going to see if we don't have to do that this time. Man, I am just every single day more and more impressed with how confident and smooth this update is. And remember, we should be getting another update, 69.2 here any day. All right, car, do not turn. Wait your turn. Wait your turn. Ah! Sorry, folks. There we go. Car's making its turn. Making its turn. I've got a hold of the wheel to make sure we don't have any problems. Yay! We made it. All right. I'm going to try and get the camera adjusted a little bit better for you. There you go. Sorry about that, folks. It's the fun of YouTube. Sometimes shit happens. Hopefully I didn't lose my sound. Nope. All right. Somebody's pulling out in front of us here. No big deal. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Sorry for the bicyclists, no problem. Car sees them just fine on the screen. Oh yeah. This is almost fun. It's going through here just like I would. It's like a roller coaster. Oh man. Folks, I'm bullish. I really think Elon and the full self-driving team, I know it's not Elon doing it, but his team, I think they might be right. They may have this licked by the end of the year. I know it's not perfect, and I know it screwed up some of these edge cases, but you just watched it, folks. You just watched it drive me for almost a half an hour from one city to another with no interventions. I have not taken over one time this entire trip. And that is absolutely just phenomenal. I can't believe it. No major screw-ups. It did a couple weird things, but again, this is, I mean, I don't know what to say. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're still with me, appreciate it. Please give me a subscribe, give me a like. We're growing this channel, and I want to go get a CCS adapter, and I want to do some. Here we come around the corner. Camera overheated there. I'd like to go to some other stations. The Tesla superchargers are fun, but you don't get to talk to a lot of people anymore. And I want to go to the EA stations and the charge points, because you got to see all the new EVs and you got to talk to all the people. And I'm in love with all of the different manufacturers' EVs. I am not just a Tesla fanboy. I love what I'm seeing from the other manufacturers, and just so excited to see more and more models coming on the market. Here we are at our stop. The camera overheated a couple times, and I turned it off once just to give you guys a break from a little traffic jam. But this was a successful 13-mile, 28-minute, zero intervention, or maybe it was 17-mile, zero intervention FSD drive. Awesome, awesome, awesome job, Amos. Thanks for joining me. Give me a like. So just give me a like and a subscribe. We'll be doing lots more stuff in the future, and here we are, successfully pulling in. And we made it.